is up, ladies and gents? It is your friendly neighborhood BJJ podcaster, RAF ESPARZA, coming to you live from 10th Planet, Las Vegas. We are so happy to have you. Yes, the day is finally here, and we are right in the middle of watching the CRAIG Jones Invitational Day 1 of a 3-day intense weekend. Yeah, that's right. You go to those BJJ camps. This is a BJJ virtual camp. So welcome. My name is RAF ESPARZA, and I am so happy that you guys are here. And, you're definitely here and you're more than likely watching from home. But right now on our screens, we currently have Adam Bradley and Kyle Boehm that are going up against each other. So if you are watching along, we're happy to have you. Just know that we will be bringing in some live commentary in addition to our board. So just in case you're wondering why the eyes might be peering in and out, like, for example, right now, if I put the live camera on Tim, he's looking at you. But he's looking past you right now. He's looking directly at the camera. Tim, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. Better late than never. I'm excited to be here. I've been sitting around all day just jittery, getting pumped, and the time is here. It started. I'm stoked, man. I can't believe it's happening.
And also joining us, one handsome KEVIN Sherrill. Kevin, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing fantastic, man. Yeah, the excitement has been building throughout. We've got to see the first few matches here at CJI, and we are locked in. You're going to see us doing this a lot.
This is a lot of, yes, everybody looking a certain way. So we apologize in advance if you guys like seeing a lot of eye lines in your faces when you see your YouTube videos. But yes, this is what we're doing. We also want to start by saying thank you to our friends over at 10th Planet Henderson. They are so nice and welcoming us here, and we are going to be treating this like it is our home, but actually better than our home. Let's just say that, because I want to make sure you guys know Casey Halstead and the crew have been nice and rolling out the red carpet. And, we had to start off a little rough today. I know that CRAIG Jones Invitational, they had some things to get through. So did we. We had our director hit a flat tire earlier today. That was not fun. And then earlier, I'm not going to say sabotage happened, but I will say, there was a very famous crew that was here before we were. So it did kind of modify our starting and setup time. So
they didn't clean the mats, I'll say that.
Well, yes, we should. You know what I mean? Like, nobody's too good to clean the mats these days.
Yeah,
just
saying.
Jiu-Jitsu
101, what are we doing?
So there is that. I also want to put this out there for you guys. So yes, right now you can see CRAIG Jones Invitational, Adam Bradley after round 1. Did we see who was kind of leading on that charge?
I think Boehm is
I think he's definitely
pushing
the aggressor
action
at this
on
point.
that round. I think he probably gets that 10-9. I don't know how long it takes before they actually show the live scoring, if they wait till the second round or the end of the second to show that, but I would think Boehm's winning this.
I would agree.
Absolutely.
And just so we're clear for everybody who's watching, we're doing our pre-show. Now, I get it. Usually pre-shows air before the actual event starts, but I argue the audience isn't there fully yet, so it's still a pre-show.
Yeah, there you go. I like that.
So just want to make sure we're very clear about that. And yes, we're going to be joining you all weekend long. So this is just the beginning of a long journey. It's a long courtship. We're basically being engaged for a long time before we seal the deal. And Kevin, how does it feel? Because on this side, the appeal is the fact that people refer to you as handsome KEVIN Sherrill. But normally when you compete, you got to be like the rest of those yahoos and wear just rash guards, shorts, just like a slum. You know what I mean? Now you're living it up. You're all suit and tied up, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. If they would allow me to compete in this, just don't touch the tie,
Yeah.
I will tell you, that is what gi training is for. So a lot of times when people talk about it, they're like, what's the practicality? I'm like, you wear a suit, you wear a jacket. I'm going to take things a little bit down here.
And I got to say, handsome Kevin is 7.5 in the suit, man.
7.5.
Yeah,
okay.
He walked through the door today. I was like, dang, man, that's a 7.5 right there.
I'm so glad that there's a scale for everything. Like, there's nothing here that doesn't get ranked by the crew. This morning, Tim has coffee, 4. You know what I mean? This donut gets you by, but
he's a harsh judge, too.
He can be.
He's the French judge, for sure.
He is.
Yeah.
I
am not impressed with your performance.
I think that's going to make you the Paula of the festivities. You're going to be super positivity throughout, Kevin. Like, I don't know. I mean, he could have got that armbar that he was flying into.
I hope they both had fun.
All right. So we have a board to get to, but there was also one other topic that I wanted to kind of present before we got here, which is addressing the situation. People were asking us, hey, are you live on air yet? And a lot of you are asking, hey, Raf, what do you think of the proceedings so far? And I want to make this very clear. Do not text me and ask me that on social media. Talk to me here. This is where I'm at all weekend. If I don't get back to you, it's not like I'm hiding out. I'm very clearly here. But when people are like, hey, what are your thoughts about the event? Motherfucker, I'm going to be on air for 25 hours. You'll hear it. But yes, please do not message me on here. And if you do, don't expect to hear from me from like till at least Tuesday. Because
Message me.
You message him 100%. Talk to him.
Hey, Raph, your wife wants to know where the salt is.
Oh, fuck off. She knows where it is.
Did you change the kitty litter?
You know, the best part is that she was packing and we made some food last night. And she was looking at me. She's like, are you really taking some of the spices? And I was like, yes, I don't trust these people that we Airbnb with.
Yeah.
I want to make sure I have
showed
all
up with a Tupperware bin full of spices.
I had spices. We brought the pressure cooker. We brought the air fryer. And we got to work last night. So we are working off of very little sleep.
And thank you, by the way, man. You made a whole refrigerator full of prepared meals already, which was pretty dope.
Well, you know, I looked at what time we're wrapping up here today.
Yeah.
And one thing I've learned in my many years of coverage is make sure your crew is fed and well taken care of. So we're going to do our best that we can to take care of everybody. But additionally, we want to give some shout outs today. We are sponsored by our good friends over at Gold BJJ. They have sent us some wonderful gear, the least of which, if you were to say the least of which, is look at this Gold Sub Soap body wash. It is tea tree oil with added eucalyptus, peppermint, and coconut oil. Thanks to them, we were able to make this trek on out here, and we love and appreciate our sponsors, and we cannot thank them enough. I think now that we've taken those formalities, gents, it is time to get to the board. And look at this. I see this. I saw some notes. Wallow J said, sup players? What's up to you, fam? I see a note that he says here, I'm choosing you over the actual airing of the event. Keep it entertaining, fellas.
I'm just going to apologize to you right off the top. I'm sorry, but thank you. That's actually very nice of you.
It's a sweetheart move.
I'm not sorry.
By the way, I want to tell you, I don't know the deal that B Team has, but they are infiltrating my stream with Donald Trump election year coverage commercials. So, we're in the process of waiting for it to go by. So when we get the chance, if you guys could skip in, that would be great. So, and I look at this. It says, okay, Kevin busted out his JP Penny suit. Or JC Penny. Wow, look at that. The disrespect, sir.
The Stafford brand.
This is not a JC Penny suit. I don't know about that. And Wallow, I've never seen you in a suit covering.
Yeah. Oh, Wallow hit me with that?
Yeah, Wallow.
That man has never worn more than a T-shirt in his life. Don't come for me, Wallow.
He takes a mad gym self.
You know what the best part? Wait, this is an interesting icing, by the way. To lift the rash guard and have someone be like, no, directly to the skin. My body can't deal with it. It needs the ice. Have it touch my back.
We need our Stitch. We need our jiu-jitsu cut man.
So speaking of which, they split on this one.
He retapes your fingers between rounds.
Yeah. Johnny Salsa actually gave that round to Adam Bradley, in case you guys were not watching that. So interesting. He's the only one of the two that ended up going that way. So doing that, and Egghead Warrior, who, by the way, is just literally over to our left, as well. Egghead will be part of our large correspondent team, many of whom will be calling in over the weekend and chatting with us. And I might have accidentally pressed a button that said Jake Watson's here. He is not. That is Kevin Sherrill. Fixed it. Done. All right. To the board. Gents, it is a packed weekend, and we should get straight to this. And the first topic, and I guess it was one that made all the news. Is this shit real? I mean, look at this. You got CRAIG Jones kissing Gabby Garcia yesterday. And a lot of people were messaging. They're saying, is this real? Is it not real? I want to follow up with one further question. Does it even matter? And I'm going to start on over with you, Tim. Your thoughts on the following here, sir.
Well, it was an interesting face-off, and this is not the first time we've seen the move of one opponent kissing the other opponent as a way to try to get in their head. CRAIG Jones is either, a master marketer or he's legitimately crazy, and I'm leaning towards the crazy side at this point. He leaned in for the kiss, and it was, I think what it was is Gabby leaned in too, and then she's like, oh no, I actually do like this guy. And she kissed him, and then she did a girl slap like, I'm gonna get you. Oh, you're so crazy. Why did you do that, Craig? and chased him around the room, and he kind of frolicked off. I think it was real, and I think she got upset because she responded in a way that she didn't expect. For just a brief moment, she was like, "I want to kiss you." "No, I don't. Get away from me. Ooh, gross." That was the vibe I got from the video.
Tim, I have to say, I'm so glad you took that to the levels not seen since Spaceballs, where it's just like, "I love you. No, you don't. Come find me, Princess Vespa." Like, that's the equivalent of that. Okay, so if that's the case, thank you for that. But I should ask this. In that case, does it matter, though, for you, Tim? Did it matter at all?
It doesn't really matter. It's something to talk about. It's a board topic, so that's cool. I guess the funniest thing out of the whole episode is that she said, "You crossed the line," and I'm like, what kind of line is this? This is a itsy bitsy teeny weeny red thread with a little Hershey kiss on the other side and a note that says, "Kiss me, Craig, XOXO Gabby." I mean, there's no line there. Get out of here with that.
Well, I'll ask this to our resident handsome one. Kev, where do we fall in this? Was that real or not?
I am beyond impressed with Craig and the lengths he has gone to secure a date with Gabby Garcia. He has been pursuing this for years. He has crowdfunded $3 million. This is a rom-com. This is a rom-com. We are seeing the long, slow burn between these two individuals, and I'm rooting for him, man. I hope it works out between them. This is true love in the making. Fantastic job. Yeah, as far as what lines he crossed, I mean, you have to ask a question and say pick one, right? Which line specifically? You're gonna need to narrow it down. Like I feel like we're in the twilight zone at this point. Like if you're starting to feel a little squeamish, like, sorry, the Rubicon's that way, man.
Yeah.
Right. We're here now.
So, you mentioned that, and you mentioned like, well, what is the line? Where did it start? It's the first line that I've seen goes like this. Like, yeah. Okay, cool. Because the other thing that I can't make heads or tails of here is, okay, were there boundaries that they said beforehand? Because if so, none of us were clued into it. You had people who were professing, no, it was real. And to me, I go, I don't know, man. It looked like a work. As a pro wrestling fan, I clearly can go along with things. But even if it's a work, I guess the intention is why. And here's my thought. Craig has been very clear about following the trends of ADCC. And just a few short months, he was able to get a non-entity, a non-existing thing, and to have it be neck and neck with ADCC in its long history of 26 years. And I think these are the things that cut the difference. So I think this was his way of saying, going into the big day, let's go for it. And whether he did get her consent or not seems like an odd topic. We're in a shootout here. It does look like we are potentially looking at a submission. Both of these gentlemen attacking legs here. Adam Bradley, if he's not initiating it, at the very least, trying to make a good stand for, I think, trying to get the judges on his side.
It's going to be interesting to see how they score this last round.
Yeah, he's made a real case.
I do love this. Andrea Souza says, anyone here? Yes, we do have people here. It's specifically the hosts are here.
This is pre-recorded.
Yeah. I think you make a really good point about the line, and maybe what it is Craig is so good at redefining that line and moving it around that we can't stop watching it. We just want to see, like, oh, he got the Miata. Oh, my gosh. Oh, it's on this day. Oh, it's $1 million. Oh, he's going to fight Gabby. Oh, we gave her a kiss.
And
it's
like
wild.
Somebody asked this in the comments, and I'm inclined to answer it, but it says, wait, isn't she married? That's a line to me.
Yeah. I didn't know that. I'm not positive of her marital status.
We'll get back to you a little bit later.
Her significant other is okay with the promotional aspects of this, and they're okay with her fighting a dude. So,
I mean, I think there's a lot of questions to be asked here. So I don't know what any of that is. But thank you, Jason, for that question. I think we have one other to feel out here, and it says, what do you think about Ryan versus Pena? So let's kind of take a moment for that one, and then we'll get back to the board here. Kevin, I'll start with you. Thoughts, interest, wants?
I like. Oh wow, Adam Bradley takes it.
Wow. Hold on.
Let's decision.
Let's take a second for that because I was not
I did not
inclined
see that.
I didn't see
by
that
that.
happening either. Yeah.
Okay.
I got to go back and watch that third round, but I didn't see that.
Yeah, I
wow.
had Bane winning the first two. I know that was not the case with all the judges.
Well, I thought it was
but
okay. So I thought they split
They did.
that second round, but I thought Bradley only had one. Was he red corner
They
or
split
blue?
With one of the judges, I believe. In
Yeah.
the second, Bradley won over one of.
He
the
was
judges.
blue corner, right?
I believe so.
Okay,
Yeah.
because if he was red corner, then those were the two judges there. So I want to be very clear. If you're in the comment section, please let us know about
Yeah,
that.
Help us out with that.
But I'm going to come on over to you, Kevin. What are your thoughts on Pena versus Gordon Ryan? What is it? It's not Cinco yet.
Yes. Quattro.
That was the best way we could have segued to be like, does he know his Spanish? I don't know. Let's do a little test here.
I hang
Kev-
out with a lot of Spanish speakers, and no, I don't know Spanish.
So where do you stand on it, sir?
I'm actually interested by it.
Okay.
I will maintain that Felipe Pena is the guy to beat Gordon if he comes in motivated and ready to go. Unfortunate circumstances in the last matchup that I don't think you can at all blame Pena for not wanting to continue, for not feeling motivated. He had a lot going on. I really hope he comes in and makes a statement and gives Gordon, frankly, the match I think we all deserve. That deserves strong. I don't think maybe the fight community deserves too much. Let's not get crazy.
Yeah.
But that we all want to see a competitive matchup. We want to see Felipe put his skills on display. We know Gordon Ryan is, as of yet, the greatest to ever do it. I want the challenger. I want to see that, I want to see the cracks in the armor.
Gotcha.
I want to see that match. And I really think that's the match. Of all the super fights this weekend, I think that's the one I'm
Oh,
most
Jesus
interested in.
Christ. Okay. Fact checking coming in very strong and very quickly. This one, if you guys can read it, don't worry, I'll read it for you. Gabby Garcia is married to Bruno Alameda, but on May 30th, 2023, she publicly accused him of committing fraud, financial abuse, and physical abuse. So some reports seem to suggest they are not together.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
called a Brazilian divorce. Yeah.
I would tell you this. It's just in this particular circumstance, I do love the fact that we have real-time fact check, but
yeah.
not just that. It's that Egghead essentially makes me concerned if he is AI. That was 100% AI responding to us.
That was.
And just being like, Gabby Garcia is married to Bruno Alameda. But on May 30th, 2023, she publicly accused him of committing fraud. And it says, oh, well, no lie. Well, no line crossed, then I stand corrected. Well, I'm glad that was the difference maker in this whole situation.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa. What her marriage status like?
Listen,
What her man say?
if we start breaking down the ethics and lines of what goes on off the mats in the jiu-jitsu community, it's going to get real weird up in here. I don't. That's not formulas I want to start breaking out. That's not the whiteboard I want to have in any particular podcast. That's going to get real convoluted.
That's not the path to the Olympics.
Well,
Doesn't happen that way, guys.
I'm so glad we're so concerned about the path to the Olympics, by the way. So have we had a submission yet other than Nikki Rod?
I think that's it.
Nikki Rod has been the main submission thus far in. Okay, great. Gents, we're going to move on to our next topic, which is as follows here. And it is rules. So how does this all work? And I'm very glad that we're able to kind of give some insight into that. I know in the pre-show, they might have alluded to a few things, but our team here, we actually did get some screenshots from Miha Perhavik, who put up his judging criterion. So I don't know if you guys had the chance to look through some of these things. Were you able to look through some of the rules?
I did read some of the rules that Mr. Egghead generously had printed out, and so I scanned through those, had a little chat with him, and got some insight on some of the things in the rules are interesting.
Beautiful. Tim, start us off on this, would you please?
Well, for one, I think the biggest difference here is that there's 3 rounds and there's rest rounds, and that it's a 10-9 scoring system. Traditionally, wrestling, judo, jiu-jitsu, the grappling-based martial arts have an accumulative scoring system. It's not a per round scoring system. So that's a little bit different. And it's not really something we've seen a lot of. Maybe there's been one-off tournaments that have done this, but I think that lends itself to being a little more difficult to crack in the beginning in terms of strategy. So that's definitely one of the major rule changes that are different in terms of the format that you'll see. The other is that they're doing open scoring, right? Which can also change the motivation of the athletes. I think the intent is that the athlete that's losing will, get a fire lit under him and go bananas. But, sometimes it has the unintended consequence of the athlete that's winning takes a NyQuil and just kind of takes a nap for the rest of the round and squeaks out the victory. So, those are the major ones. And then the trick here is the stalling. And how do you enforce stalling? They have referees and judges can make recommendations, but the referee has sole discretion. And there's some tricky wording in the rules that Ag had pointed out to me earlier this morning that kind of make it a little playable, where you can game it a little bit because the referee has some discretion. It says in some parts, then other parts it says it doesn't, and he has to put him in particular positions. And I think an athlete could argue that and potentially find an advantage in there. And these guys are always looking for advantages. The wall is tricky, so there's a lot of different aspects to it, but I think those are the two main ones that jump out to me in terms of the rules.
There was a part of me that thought, as you were saying all of that, Tim, that it's like people have to look at the intention of the wall. Like, what was the wall's intention here? The wall is an actual person that gets put on trial at the end.
It comes down to stalling, brawling, and walling. I think that's kind of how it works.
You know what? If we ever have a bullpen invitational, stalling, brawling, and what?
Balling.
And balling. Oh, shit. If you ball, fuck, dude. If you look real clean doing it, we give you extra style points.
It should be stalling, balling, and walling. There you go.
All right. I'm going to go on over this way. Kevin, your thoughts on this particular matter?
Yeah, I'm actually really happy that the pre-show became a current show because we got a chance to look at the rules in action.
Okay.
We saw actively, in Lively's match, he was winning 2 rounds, knew that going into the third. After he got the takedown, said, I am good to go. I can take a stall call. I can take a stalling penalty. I'm good. And it's going to affect that third round match. I also think it's interesting the way the judges' scoring is working out because as we discussed in the middle of this show, we were very surprised to see Adam Bradley take that win over Kyle Bain. I saw a lot of activity and submission attempts out of Kyle Bain. Not to say Adam Bradley wasn't right in the pocket, looking to counter, throwing it back at him, attempting to pass. It was a very active match on both sides. But you have to start to wonder about specific criteria and how it's going to be executed anytime you have judges. And I think it's going to be a very interesting thing to see throughout. If there's...
I'm sorry.
What?
Man.
I'm so sorry.
These guys just slid down the side of the wall and butt scooted to each other. Pat Downey and Luke Rockhold. That was... As it was happening, I'm like, is this happening right now?
So I think Tim is alluding to the following, which is we didn't expect it to go down this way of these two individuals who literally looked at each other from opposite sides of the pit and said, you going to slide? I'm going to slide. Slid and then didn't stand up, literally butt scooted to each other in the world's most chaotic fashion.
This is jujitsu's touch them up, when they put their hand up, you're going to touch them up before the round, like touch them up, scoot them up, we're going to scoot them up.
Scoot them up, little toe touch. A little slap bump to the bottom of the feet.
Yeah.
It 100% threw me. And by the way, if you're watching on Twitter, aka X, thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate you guys.
Sorry about that, Kevin.
No. It definitely did bring up some gray areas and some uncertainty into what's going on. But then we mentioned, as you were talking about Adam Bradley, a little bit of uncertainty. And before we go to our next topic, I did want to bring this up. Kudos to pressuring here by Pat Downey. Luke Rockhold is a very sneaky grappler. I don't know that this is necessarily part of his plan. Now he's going to opt to stand back up with a solid wrestler who's going to really utilize his experience of just pressure, just applying pressure to basically cut the distance for the lack of experience. And maybe this is where Luke gets his sneakiness in with going for that guillotine here. And Pat very nicely scouts it out
Yeah.
and starts looking to pass. This could be one of those matches that does spoil things for people.
I think we saw a nice little wall takedown too. He kind of hit it like a mini blast double up.
He had a little bit of a spine buster, if you would.
He
was
that.
very, very smart about what he was doing here. Tim, would you mind looking at the camera real quick and telling us a little bit about Salt?
Salt Electrolytes, thank you very much. They are one of our gold sponsors. Salt, you know, there's a lot of electrolyte drinks out on the market. There's a lot of things you can drink, but Salt is made by jiu-jitsu guys, for jiu-jitsu guys, and everyone else, but specifically, these are guys from the jiu-jitsu community. It's just not sugar. It's just not, you know, some magic ingredient you've never heard of. They take salts, they get the right mixtures, they put them together. Your body needs that for hydration. They make a great product, and they believe in what we're doing, and they believe in jiu-jitsu. So we're more than happy, super stoked to have them on board with us as a gold sponsor. If you want to get more information about them, you can check them out at saltelectrolytes.com. Thank you very much to those folks at Salt. We really look forward to working with them in the future.
Beautiful. Salt, thank you so much for coming through for us. Again, your support, your patronage does not go unappreciated here. We have been able to make a lot of things happen. And by the way, you know, I know we talked a little bit about what we endured this morning, but I didn't talk about what we endured yesterday to this morning. KEVIN Sherrill, being here, not short of a miracle. How did you make it here, sir?
Yeah, on a prayer. That's how I made it here. I got to. Let's start with this. I chose to fly Spirit to be a team player, and I said, you know what? Let's keep the budget down. I'm the rookie. I know I'm going to be running coffee for these guys. Let me go ahead and fly Spirit, show that I'm a cheap date. I'm not above anything, right? Terrible decision. I make it all the way to the gate. They back-to-back push my flight back. I assume, like, you know, we're 30 minutes until, you know, doors open. They push the flight back, then cancel it immediately. I'm at the gate. There's no Spirit representative at the gate because they're pros at this. They know what they're doing. So we turn around. I turn around, try and get a flight out that night. Doesn't happen. RAF won't fly me first class Delta, so we had to opt for a flight the next morning.
I just got that first class Delta.
We had to opt for a flight the next morning. I make it back to my house at 11:30, leave out this morning at 4 a.m. Shout out to Angel, lived up to his name, a buddy of mine that said, yeah, I'll drive you to the airport. I'll get up at 3:45 to drive you to the airport at 4 a.m. And I'll do that on 3 hours and 45 minutes notice. I get there, fly out 4 a.m., go straight to little HQ, Casa de RAF, and Tim's making breakfast burritos. So here we are on roughly 4 hours sleep, you know, if you count what I got on the plane, and we're in business.
So it's not that I didn't opt for first class. You just didn't agree to fly the plane. Like, I had volunteered you to keep costs low, and I said, no, he can fly the plane. They're like, where's his license from? And I was like, he's a brown belt. You have to stop. You have to stop.
I didn't know if I'd already told you that.
Oh my God.
You know I can already fly a plane. You know I can already fly.
No, this is a question like, did
you
we,
know
did
I can
we
fly
have
planes?
No,
planes?
we've not talked about this. What do you mean you can fly planes?
I started flying planes
This
when
is
I
why-
was 11 or 12.
This is why people
Wait,
don't like
no,
you,
hold
Kevin.
on. First
I
of all,
figured it out. Sorry.
Sorry. This is an important issue here. When you say that you were 11 or 12 and you could fly planes,
Yes.
that's what parents tell you when you take the deck, but you're not flying.
I took off and landed planes.
What?
At
And who's letting
flight
you at
camp.
this fantasy camp do this?
Yeah, a little summer camp at Embry-Riddle in
Little summer
Florida.
camp.
Little summer camp.
Oh, you've never been, Tim?
Yeah, I kissed a banana slug at summer camp. I didn't fly a freaking airplane. Just
What?
a little takeoff, a little landing. Just the two most complicated parts of flying a plane. I did that.
Too complicated. And the landing part, can you imagine trusting a 12-year-old with your life? There's an instructor in there watching a 12-year-old who you wouldn't trust to drive a car land a plane.
Yeah.
So are we legally implicating you by saying that you flew a plane?
Yeah.
Like, are you allowed to say those things?
I know.
All perfectly legal. No idea why. All perfectly legal.
And where were you living at this time?
I was in Georgia, and I did this at a summer camp in
Georgia?
Embry-Riddle, Florida.
Hey, we just saw the scoring for round 1, and 2 of the refs gave Downey a 10-8 round over Rockhold.
To be fair, he was a little bit pressed up against the wall for the majority of that.
And he pressed him into the corner right at the end, and I hadn't seen that
before.
before.
So we were talking a little bit about who might go over the wall. This could be a candidate for that one. But again, we're not even close to the big boy division just yet.
If Luke goes over the wall, I need us to run it back and look when we work the board, and I called for this to be the match where somebody goes over the wall.
Oh, okay.
I think what we can do is
let's
we can
advance.
get one of the guys on the side to just kneel down, and they'll be the wall, and then you could push me over them.
There we go.
And we'll just reenact
this. Is
it.
going to be so fun.
Yeah.
So, okay, that's what we have set
Look
up
at
for you
this.
guys. We'll come back to this, but
What is this?
Here we go.
Oh.
Here we go. He's going out.
Oh, he's
going
definitely.
away.
Oh no, this is back alley, definitely for
see
sure.
A battle royal like this.
Oh my god.
I'm telling you, he wants that viral clip.
By the way, speaking of viral clip, our social guy 100% just put in an update as to something that's getting clipped here, and I guess you could probably take an assumption as to what's getting clipped on the show. But yeah, I agree 100%. Where's the thumbs up emoji? Can't do that one enough. Yes. Okay, gents, let's press on to the next part of the board, which is. Oh, this one, you know, it's so funny. We've been talking about such good things here. We have to get into an actual news topic here. It looks like Seth Daniels is back. Now, how did this happen? This is an interesting perspective here because you would assume doing a death threat would mean maybe you don't get to come to ADCC. And yet, live, in person, this week was Seth Daniels. I'll start with you, Tim. Were you shocked by this, or did this seem like something that you thought might happen?
Not shocked by it at all. And, I have the ability to try to see the good in everybody. And I have, some love in my heart for Seth Daniels. But I was surprised to see that. And I don't know exactly what that entails on social media. Who knows? But this is what I want to say. I want Seth to accept Elio Gracie into his heart. Just repeat after me. Elio Gracie, grant me the serenity to accept the subs I cannot escape and to hip escape the ones I can, and the wisdom to know the difference, because I think that's Seth's biggest issue most of the time is not accepting things as they are, and it turns out to be a little tricky for him. But best of luck to him. I don't know, man. I was surprised to see that, though. I don't know if they're going to hush that or what that means or even address it. So,
I mean, obviously those people got that footage sent on over to Craig, which you think is probably not the best of modes for Seth. I just find it fascinating that that was something that appeared and that people were kind of, as they were seeing it live, go, oh, I guess we have to deal with that now. So let me just kind of bring into a perspective here that I think is important to keep in mind when you are talking about something that is this serious. And I will say this, I'll preface it with the idea that, sure, if you're really looking at how this works, yeah, I don't know that Craig has a leg to stand on, because some of you in the comment section thought, oh, maybe him assaulting a woman or getting a no consent, where does he have a leg to stand in on any of this? Yes, this is a big morality play that we go in many different ways. But I think at its base, the concept of a death threat should be a no-brainer that that person is not allowed to be at the event. Nonetheless, ADCC did not put out a public statement ever. So it's not like they ever said something. But on this very show, I made it a point to say if they did give him the status of being out of ADCC, it would be one of the first responsible things that the organization did that's akin to real sports. And yet the disappointment here is he showed up again, which just goes to show you can do death threats if you have lasers.
You have to get consent.
You
can do a death threat. You got to ask them first. Can I threaten you with death?
I am not surprised, but I think it does highlight a huge weakness in our sport that we should address in an incredibly real way. So I think that we need to really address how we look at this, because at its base, downplaying it and not thinking about it or just saying like, it is what it is not an acceptable answer. And I really do feel like, yeah, even if he was in jest or did anything, in reality, it was a public relations move. And that, yes, it was meant to just have him lay low.
Yeah.
Upside, though, is that meant he didn't say anything stupid for 2 months, which, you know, kind of works out.
Some kind of record.
But in terms of a actual sport, an embarrassing moment and a black mark for ADCC, I would say. So if I were them, I would address that in a much more realistic way, because if they had a press conference or they actually had somebody interviewing Mo, that should be a question. And that would be the one that Dana White would try to just bully down. But it is worthy of consideration, which is, why did he get allowed back? And I would like to hear an answer from that. And if he does do it in a live format, it might get lost to the ages. That's still not representable for growing the sport. All right, let's go to happier topics, because we here should probably be on the happier side, but I feel like that's one that can easily get lost in the fray. So Nunchuck Alex says, love you guys. We love you right back, brother. Look at that. Look at these hearts we're getting here.
Heck yeah. What up?
And it says, has Mika Galvo power to beat Gordon Ryan? Kevin, I'll start with you on that one, because I don't know where to even heads or tails any of that, sir.
Does he have the power to beat Gordon Ryan?
The legitimate question, has Mika Galvo power to beat Gordon Ryan? I added the because I think that's closer. But has he power?
He had power.
He had power? I think he had power too.
He had power. Implying that the trick to beating Gordon is power. Because Gordon's never fought a strong guy.
Right.
I think Mika is on his way to establish himself as one of the greatest to ever do it. I think he's already made a case where he's what? He's super early 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's already built a resume that he could retire on.
Yeah.
He could just be done, and we would never stop talking about him. I think he's on his way to being one of the greatest of all time, if not the greatest. Gordon Ryan is, solidly 60 pounds heavier than him. Let's calm down. Let's all calm down a bit. That's a tall ask.
It is a tall ask. Now, what's great about today's show is we do kind of get to work out some kinks. And one of the kinks that we have to work out is the fact that, yes, you would kind of want our news crew to be there already. The issue is this, and I don't know if you guys are prepared for this, and it's part of the reason why we're having an extended preview show here. We might not be done until midnight. So I think I'm selfishly keeping you guys here.
Yeah, you don't want to be alone the rest of the day.
Because I recognize the minute you go, I lose touch with humanity. Like, it's legitimately 100%, oh no, I might be on my own. So we hope, Andre, we answered your question. And Salt, electrolytes, thank you, fellas. Thank you again. We cannot tell you what it means, especially when you have unexpected expenditures like flight cancellations. And I have to tell you this. To me, in my head, there was no way we were going to do this without doing our damnedest to make sure that Kevin got here. And I went to bed not knowing if he had rebooked his flight, if we had a Kevin coming in. And I woke up and he was at the Airbnb, and I was delighted. So it is a pleasure to have you, Kevin. I'm really glad it all worked out. And thank you for taking the initiative to just get here. Like,
yeah, man, I knew you had a lot of stuff going on. These shows, like, You're doing an awful lot. To put it very simply.
I know. He's cooking, producing, making videos, figuring out how we're gonna do what we need to do.
Yeah, man, he is absolutely he is both Brad Pitt and George Clooney in our
holy shit. Are you for real?
Yeah.
I'm both.
The least I can do is
in our price range, though.
Here.
In our price range.
So
You're the Mexican equivalent of Brad Pitt.
It's adjusted for our price range.
Oh, shit. Does that make me Matt Damon?
You know what? Unfortunately, it does.
That makes you William Macy. It's like you're almost Matt Damon. Not quite.
Gents, we're approaching the end of this match very shortly, and I have to tell you, it does look likely that, yes, Pat Downey can advance. So if he stays out of submission danger, But the reason why I brought up the time closure is that estimate they had was based off of every match going the distance.
Right.
And so far,
We have one submission.
the future is now, people. So we are hoping on the under 80s to come through for us.
Yeah.
And just some other information here that we did get. Egghead in the AI comment section said, Luke Rockhold's hand touched the top of the pit. Should have received a warning. Second offense is supposed to be taking a point. Now, that's such an interesting rule that I think in the future, though, there should be a high tribal council, and we should basically push for Egg to be at the top of that next year.
Yeah, agreed. You know, I think one of the challenges is that the ref hasn't reffed this before, and the judges haven't judged it before. So there's gonna be bad decisions. There's gonna be things that they don't catch.
I think we need to address the real thing, which is, oh my God, he's push kicking him. Oh, but that's adorable. So he did it on the side. I will say the weirdest part was when Luke, toward the end of that round, did what I know as the old people stagger, where you just kind of lose your balance. I'm like, whoa. So definitely said that. And I saw this. You got to be a diva next time. I think that was to you, Kevin, in terms of asking for more things.
Yeah.
I should have opened with, when you talked about booking flights, I should have opened with, I only fly first class.
Raph is like, I was thinking Spirit. They do have a very nice business select.
Raph just hits me with fly.
So 100%, you know what went through my head yesterday when all of this went down? Is I looked at myself and I go, this was our fault. Like, it was too good to be true of a price. And I go, you know what? That one's on us.
Yeah. Once a year, every year, I learn this lesson with Spirit or Frontier. This has happened to me once a year, every year for the last 8 years. And then you know what happens? I go look up flights and I go, you know, it's $500 to get to Vegas for Delta or American. And it's a $75 Spirit flight.
Yeah.
So
time.
Pat Downey advances, and it looks like the spirit of Fedor Emelianenko was in there and cheering him on. And Luke Rockhold sitting all suggestive at the top of that little pit there right there, bud. Wow. All right. So let me address this very quickly to our friend Andre Asauza, and it says, talk about what you think about Mika Galvo, please. So I should address this. We're happy to have you. We have a limited amount of time we will spend on Mika Galvo for the main reason that he is not active today. But we will continue to indulge that tomorrow when Mika is part of the ADCC festivities. But they did make a push for him to be on this, though, right? They were trying to secure him.
They tried to get him.
I promise you, Mika will give us plenty to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Fair.
He's a stud.
He is a walking highlight reel. We will have stuff to talk about the rest of the weekend for him. I'm looking forward to his performances for sure.
And it says, Luke Rockhold. It's a very good observation. Thank you for that one. And it says, 1 submission, 4 judges' decisions so far. And I can tell you this, the audience is starting to fill out a little bit there. So you are seeing, look at them. Now they're doing crowd shots. This isn't just AEW where they look around and say, do the hard cam side. They're starting to show you that people are showing up. Maybe it's just they started a little bit too early. But let's talk about this. The ability to go over and change your name. You get to draw your own destiny, but we should get better markers probably.
Yeah.
Some of these things are a little
marker,
light.
Not a Sharpie.
You know what I mean? Like we should have gone to the Dollar Tree over here in Henderson. Treated us very well.
Yeah.
CJI might not have the budget, man. They might not have it.
Which I guess I should tell you guys,
mom and pop.
when we get a chance, I'm not saying we're going to do it like right now in the second, but like I want to give you guys a little preview of what's happening. Oh, it's too soon. I can't show that yet. Okay, I'll bring that on a little bit later when the boys are getting closer to leaving. But let's go back to the board. We still have a few topics to go through. And this is an important question to note here because it may seem very obvious who we're going to be talking about, but maybe there's some more to think about here. And the question is, who will be the breakout brother of this series of tournaments? And I want to go ahead and start on over with one, Tim Freeman. Tim, who is it that we have to keep eyes out for here, sir?
Well, you know, there's a few brothers, and then there's a brother-sister combination, and I think that probably counts okay as well, but that's an ADCC. We've got the Rotullo brothers, which it's like how I don't know if these guys can break out from each other. I don't know if the universe will stop existing if that happens. Like if Cade just said, you know what, I don't want to do jiu-jitsu anymore. I want to be a dancer. Like I'm just not going to do this. And could Ty actually keep doing jiu-jitsu without his brother? I don't think so. I don't think it happens. I think the Tackett boys are almost exactly the same. As one goes, the other's going to go. The two that aren't the same are Gordon and Nicky Ryan. Those are the two where there's a chance for Nicky to really break out if he could get past the first round. So my money's on Nicky. If Gordon wins, he's just going to make an I told you so speech on Instagram and brag about his new cool sandal company and all the stuff he's doing. So, I think Nicky has a cool chance here. I think that the Tackett brothers are both going to look good. The Rotullos are going to look good. Outside of that, I think it's Nicky.
I have to say, one of the benefits of doing YouTube and watching this event on YouTube is the local advertisements that come on.
I know.
Because the gentleman who is on here, who I believe does some sort of surgical procedures or law degreeing, maybe both.
He does both, yeah.
He just stared at you blankly and just goes, hey, come on over to my legal and doctor services. Some people are doctors. Some people are lawyers. I'm Dr. Lawyer. Come now.
Yeah.
Like, I just thought, like, what the fuck is happening, bro?
I will help you stop gambling by removing your hands.
I'll go on over now to you, Kevin. Kevin, which brother do we have to keep an eye out on?
I think of all the brothers, the one that has the most potential as far as his skill set and the matchups he has in order to be the underdog for the longest period of time, wow people with impressive performances, has got to be Andrew Tackett. I think we expect a lot from the Ruotolos. I think we expect a lot from William Tackett. He's very established. People are talking about every one of those guys as a real chance at winning this tournament. That's a lot of people's top picks represented by those three guys. Andrew Tackett, it's really tough to go against Nicky Ryan first round. And his route does not get easier. I think he could end up having the performances that people talk about. Man, I did not see that come. And how he probably has to do it is raw excitement. Pure pace, absolute crazy jumping off the wall, like submitting people that he maybe shouldn't. Like, I think that's the guy. If you want breakout, you have to consider what people on the street are going to be talking about when they walk out of that arena. And I think when the Ruotolos win, you go, yeah, of course. When William Tackett wins, you go, yeah, he's dominant. He's good. Andrew has established himself, but not on that level. I think this could be the one. This could be the tournament where he does it.
Very nice. What was the thing you referred to here? It was raw what? Did you say raw energy or raw what?
I don't know, man. Sometimes my mouth just starts moving.
Okay, but like, just when you said it, it was just you were basically getting into almost Will Ferrell territory of like, he's got a raw sexual energy he's bringing to the proceedings.
Talladega Nights.
You know what I mean? And I was just like, wait, where is he going with this? But especially the best part is as you said it, Tim goes, yeah. And I go, oh, they're in simpatico here.
Andrew Tackett, just big, hairy American winning machine.
I feel what you're laying down, dog.
Didn't even matter what he was saying. It was just like, yep, I got you, bro.
Man, look at this guy.
Gents, before we continue going on, by the way, the graphics here, oh, shit, they're talking shit about ADCC. Good for them. I can tell you this with some confidence, and this is some good news. Right now, I'm looking at the times. Oh, no, I thought it was good news. It's actually bad news. It got worse. No. The times, the last match is scheduled today for 12:37
a.m.
Yes.
We do this because we love you guys.
So
hit up my PayPal. No.
For some of you guys who hit me up and were like, when are you starting? And I was like, the better question is, when do we end?
The little guys are going to day 2 under 88.
Yes. So they're doing all the big boy division first.
Got you.
Which means they're going to do round 2. Then they're taking a break. Once they take a break, it's a 30-minute break that they've scheduled in.
Jeez.
Which begs the question, why wouldn't you just do big boys under 80, big boys under 80? I don't understand what that is, because you may run the risk of, I mean, depending on how they're spacing it out. Fortunately, we have decisions here, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, it is very awkward and uncertain here. So shout out to our good friends, Tap Cancer Out. They are one of the official sponsors, not of this show. I love them. They didn't sponsor the show. I love you, John. But they are an official sponsor of the Craig Jones Invitational, and they're an excellent, excellent group. A near and dear friend of the show, Paul Moran, was a huge supporter of them, and thus we are huge supporters of them because they have always represented our boy, Paul Moran, who is a Las Vegas fixture, and we miss him very much.
Yes.
So let us continue on. Gents, we're going to go to our next topic here, and our next topic is, well, bam, Mr. CJI. Okay. This one's a little bit of a potpourri, if you would. Gents, you know, yesterday there were some people who went to go weigh in, and some people looked good and some people looked okay. So I want to know, who do you guys have as the standouts? And if so, I will see if I can find photos of them, because I'm not quite sure who you were going to bring up, but let me see what I can do on the fly.
I sent you some.
I know you did, but it's my way of stalling to put it in.
Oh, I got you.
So
nice.
It's a little production trick here.
Nice. I'm glad I stepped on it.
But it's okay. I'm going to go ahead and go to you, because we should go to the handsome one first. This is your department, Kevin. I didn't bring you here to be a jiu-jitsu analyst. I brought you here to be a fashion analyst.
Oh, I'm ready.
So, sir, please take the lead.
I need you guys to know, Raf did not know in advance this is where I was headed, but we're going to talk about branding. We're going to talk about fashion. We're going to talk about sticking to what the fans want, what the fans expect, and what is expected of you. Majid Haig being the only guy in the minus 80 showing up in a T-shirt, because that's who he is. He is Mr. T-shirt. He competes in a T-shirt. This man lives in a T-shirt. He sticks to his guns. I respect it. Everyone else is doing the flex. That's cool. That's fine. There's some interesting ones out there. But you know what? Branding is branding. This man lives and dies on it, and I respect it. Majid Haig has my Mr. CGI.
CJI.
You know what? I'm going to do that about 50 times
We
this
all
weekend,
are, brother.
because he has delivered on what his fans want and expect of him.
I want to point this out. Did I not find the photo? Did I not make it happen right up there? Look at that. Up on my cheat.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Made it happen, guys.
Man, he's
You
quick
call
with
these
it. He's
things
quick
out.
with it.
Let me see what you got. Tim, I'm going to go to you right now. Who do you have for me?
I'm just looking at my little cheat window here. There was, I do like Majid because I think he's a never nude. I think he never takes a T-shirt off. He always has the T-shirt on. That's just his game. My favorite was Joseph Chin flexing the traps.
Okay.
Like trying to get the trap action in, and it's almost like one of those inadvertent ones, like when you walk by some girls and you have your shirt off and you're like, hey, he just Chris Farley'd where's the weight room. If you look at that shot of him, I like how he's standing on the podium. He's got the #1 sign. His mullet is perfectly imperfect. I think they cut each other's hair on the B team. I really do. I'm pretty sure they're giving each other haircuts on that
But,
team.
like, let's
think you're right.
acknowledge
Yeah.
this. Tim, I know you can't fully see this.
Yes.
But the neck region.
It's freaking pretty big, dude. He has
looks
neck
photoshopped.
implants, actually. He has fillers put in there. Yeah, the neck and the traps are not proportional to the wings. You need wings. You need lats if you got traps, man. The lats and the traps go together, but Chin is skipping the lat pull down day.
So you
He's
can't
just doing
see
shrugs.
what I'm about to do here, but I'm going to focus in specifically on the region that you are speaking of here. So let's go to a shot that gives you the majority of this. So this is pretty much all we're looking at here, which is I'm going to put him over your body and see if this kind of matches up here. So look, this is Tim. That's his shoulder width. If you go here, it still is the wingspan of Tim's body. Like, it is an impressive amount. Tim, can you just kind of peer your eyes up just a little bit?
Over here.
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah, and a little to your right.
The best part about this,
Right? Keep
for our
going.
viewers,
Yep.
is the commitment to the mullet here
Well,
that we're getting.
it's,
There's absolutely, it's not just business up
just
front.
hold on.
man.
I think I can match these
That
up.
zero party in the front
Okay.
or the top.
if I'm putting this up right, I think that photo and that amount of zoom is the amount of still missing face that dude's traps have come in and done it. I sent him a note, and this is completely real. And I don't know if you will probably at some point get this note from me in the future. But I sent this on over to Joseph when I saw his photo, and underneath it, it just said, bro, chill. Like, we have joked about it, and I've got guys at my gym who do this to me all the time now. And I'm like, dude, I have a giant head. That's supposed to be my supporting part. This is a lot. So we've definitely done this.
How do you even get your neck that big?
Don't know.
His neck
Great
is
question.
huge, dude.
Gentlemen, we have a couple topics left, and then we're going to send you out on our way. But the first one is this, and we already kind of have seen some of the action, but the question I have for you is, who is showing out today? And showing out, our definition here is, who is the person that is going to get the most attention? Who is going to basically step up to the plate and give you a star-making performance? I know we've already mentioned Andrew Tackett, but who else could there be? Is there going to be? And I'll start with you, Tim. Tim, who's showing out here today?
I got two names for you. I would say Nicky Rodriguez. He's already stepped up with the first submission, had a great match right out of the gate. And then the other name you got to keep an eye on is the hometown hero here, Andy Varela. He's not going to go out there and not get after it. We saw him at the PGF. Every single match he was pushing pace, pushing the rules. He is a habitual boundary pusher when it comes to competing. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if we see Varela try to push somebody over the wall, through the wall, have somebody reach over and help him pull somebody out, come back in on a match that's not his. I think he's going to be 100% after it. So yeah, that'd be my pick, guys to keep an eye on, man. You can't take your eye off of Varela, especially in a format like this.
Copy that. Kevin, who should we be keeping an eye on here today?
A simple group, the wrestlers.
Oh.
I think based on what we've been seeing, the wrestlers. I think people are underestimating how powerful pace, being able to dictate, being able to control, especially with simple activity scoring in this rule set. I think people are underestimating. They're thinking typical, oh, yeah, the wrestler comes out to Naga New Breed, or the wrestler goes out to ADCC trials and, he doesn't know anything about footlocks. There is $1 million on the line here. If you think world-class athletes like Jason Nolf didn't take that seriously, you are really counting them out. I think if you give these guys too much advance notice, you're looking at some really nasty matchups where most of these guys are not going to be able to dictate to the wrestlers at all. They're not going to have time to breathe. I think we're going to see some startling performances out of some non-jiu-jitsu based guys. We've already seen it with Pat Downey.
It's fair.
And we're going to see it out of Jason Nolf and anyone with the wrestler base. I'm going to butcher the last guy's name.
It's okay. But just the wrestlers. They go by one thing.
Kirk Vliet or something like that, yeah. Kirk Vliet.
I've been butchering
I think that is the name, but I've just been like, yep, him.
And I think we're going to see Downey and no, who fought in the match right before Downey? Was it Bradley and Bame?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's going to be Bradley and Downey.
Ooh,
that'll be fun.
A good match. It'll be interesting to see how that match plays out.
Man, Bradley
Agreed.
Looked impressive, but so did
Downey
Pat
looked
Downey,
really good,
man.
Because Rockhold's not a little dude. He's not like easy to push around at all.
Not at all.
Hold on here. This is some rudeness because there's one good comment that is Nicky Rod is the only sub so far. He's in the lead for star of the day thus far. That's from Egghead. I agree. But, the state champion and D1 wrestler touts the wrestlers. Surprise. So
what?
I want to point this out here. We also got a note from our Instagram where somebody said, this is why I'm here between matches. And that happened as we were putting the photo of Joseph Chin over Tim's face. So I'm glad we were able to bring some entertainment and levity to the proceedings. And it says, I heart Iowa wrestlers from Bender Martial Arts.
Hey, Jason Bender.
I also want to give some love to our friend, The Dream, who's tuning into us, but he's kind of busy right now.
Yeah, he is.
The Dream is there. And guys, we just had a huge upset.
Wow.
Lucas Kennard taking out Victor Hugo. Who I think is feeling his emotions right now. I mean, you have to figure that's the first reaction you've had to, I'm not going to win $1 million, really.
It was
no, legitimately, I think this is the difference between ADCC and this competition, and that's something you haven't seen yet, which is everybody comes in dreaming of being an ADCC champion, but they understand maybe it's just like you're a Olympic hero. You get a great moment, you have a moment in time, but you get 15 minutes of fame, and that gold medal is everything to you.
Yeah.
Now you sweeten the pot by saying, hey, man, you didn't win $1 million. And I think that's going to be the reaction you see from people. Because I can tell you this, I've lost some matches in jiu-jitsu, but I've never lost a match that was worth $1 million.
Yeah.
So I feel like that is one of the things that we didn't quite know what we would see until we saw it. And yikes.
And Hugo had to be a favorite.
He was a huge favorite.
Yeah.
Had to be a huge
I felt
favorite.
like on that side of the bracket, he was one of the main dudes to beat.
He was a guy to look out for.
Not 2 hours ago, we were talking about predictions, and I said, you're going to see Victor Hugo in the fight.
Good thing we started late.
When you talked about who's going to have a breakout, I was like,
wow.
I debated when I said before the wrestlers, my other option was Victor Hugo.
I will bet my Spirit Airlines flight home. It's Victor Hugo.
My Spirit flight home. I was like, you know what's a lock? Victor Hugo.
Well, what a great
match.
moment for him, for Lucas Kennard. I mean, taking out somebody who had that high of a profile, especially, could have been incredible at ADCC as well. And the cards worked out for Lucas. So if we're talking about who's showing out right now, Lucas Kennard is in contention for Star of the Day. Got it done faster. And hold on, gets us a little bit closer to midnight, everybody. So Lucas Kennard is the star of this show thus far in. So happy to bring that news to your attention. Ladies and gents, we have just a couple things left. And yes, we did get some gallery comments. So this is where we take comments that are either out of pocket or are from the community. Have you guys sent me any of these? No. I didn't see any. Did you send any?
I screen capped some, but I guess I didn't get sent to
you. You didn't send them to me. How about you send them to me real quick, and I'll look. I'll take some time to respond to some questions while you do that. Perfect. And it says Wallow J, and it says that's because you live and die by your handsome branding. You get it. So you get it.
Guys like us get it.
Guys like us.
Signed WJ.
I want to bring this one up, and it says, "Are you going to broadcast the ADCC?" Now, that's a heavy question here. Let's address it in parts.
That's flow grappling. That's like the worst narc ever.
Well,
right there.
hold on. You got to tell me if you're a cop. Number one. Number two, this is the same person that was asking about Mika Galvo. So let me make it very clear. Mika's on tomorrow. We will be doing an fight companion where you will see zero footage airing from either the Craig Jones Invitational or this. Ooh, look at, oh my goodness, I love this.
But you will get commentary and expert analysis and shenanigans
and some potential interviews and fun things. Like, you're not getting nothing with us.
Talk about it.
But I love when people are like, yeah, but what else are you giving me? And I'm like, it's free.
What else you got?
Like, bro.
Is Mika there? Can you get him on camera?
Well, I want to be like, we gave you handsome Kevin. Is that not enough?
Yeah.
Tell this man to his face he's nothing. Okay?
Yeah, give my therapist some work, guy. My ego needs a little bit of checking. Light me up.
All right, so I'm just going to do this one raw dogging it on without any preview to it. But it says, will we be able to view the matches even after airing? Man, I'm a dumbass wedding. I'm at a dumbass wedding and going to miss large portions. CGI official Craig Jones, BJJ. And that came from J Jelly 1900. So, Kevin, what do you think this dude was thinking when he put this up?
I'm not sure what he was thinking. I think he was thinking maybe people weren't going to see it, and I saw it, and I'm King Hater. So if y'all know this guy, go ahead and tag him, clip this, put that up there, and tag this man while he's at the wedding and give him something to put in his story.
Yeah.
I don't know whose wedding he's at, but he don't want to be there.
Can I very quickly point out something? And this comes from love, Kevin. You know when Ja Rule had a concert
yes,
and 50 Cent brought bought all the seats for it, And somebody on Twitter or Instagram said, like, you know what? I can see now how 50 Cent got shot a few times. When you post this up and you're like, I'm King Hater and let's put this dude on blast. I'm like, you know what? I can see why some people have beef with KEVIN Sherrill.
But seriously, this guy's like, he doesn't know how YouTube works. Or he's leaning over.
The weirdest part is, I hate
able to watch this again. Is it gone forever?
Well, I hate the fact that, like, when you're somebody who does all the homework and somebody shows up and goes, how I see this? And I'm like, you're on YouTube.
Put it for me.
Put it for me. I'm like, bro, if you have made it on the internet, you are halfway there.
Yeah, how did you get
You're leaving comments on Reddit, dude. Like, you're slumming on Reddit jiu-jitsu at a wedding. Does your wife know you're doing this right now?
All right,
He's
guys.
sitting there mad in the ceremony, listening to organ music. Like, man, get me out
I
of
can
here.
post on Reddit, but I can't watch YouTube.
You did send one more, and I'm going to go ahead and call this one up. So, yes, to our friend who was asking about this, just saying, do yourself a solid. Try to do it in a discreet place. When I've gone to weddings, what I've done is I put my phone up against a bottle. So I get a bottle of something, usually kind of large. Maybe if you get like a drink that's in a cup, that's say maybe a little margarita in here, you just put it down. You very slyly put your phone on top of it and you tilt it at an angle. And then what you do is you look at your friends and you make this gesture. Man, it's been a crazy year. How's your day been? Serious? Oh, okay. Yeah, no, she's crazy. I don't even know why she would say that to you. Oh, for real? Is that what she said? My God. So take it from somebody who's been to a few weddings. And by the way, at my wedding, there was, I believe it was Dos Anjos versus, Anthony Pettis. And one of my groomsmen, Kevin, who was my co-host for Verbal Tap, his entire job was to come over and give me updates like I was the president. And so he like comes over and he goes, sir, he is not doing well in the first round. Thank you very much for your service.
Yeah, it's not good.
Definitely enjoyed doing that. Definitely recommend it. All right, our last comment of this before we move on to our last bit here is as follows. And somebody says, these pure wrestlers are getting subbed in the first 3 to 5 minutes. I have some bad news about that.
They're not.
Not necessarily. And that is from Abate J.
203.
AJ 203.
Yeah,
and it
that
says
did not
these pure
age
wrestlers.
past like most posts will age, for a couple days a week. This didn't even make it 4 hours.
It did not.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Pure wrestlers.
Pure
They have no
wrestlers.
Those
jiu-jitsu.
guys.
You dummies. What's
Somewhere
wrong
there's a
with you?
wrestling show like this, and they're like, these pure jujitsu guys will never learn.
Well, you know what? They're having a watch party and they're just like, this is dumb. Let's go wrestle somewhere anyway. This
Yeah.
is all right, dude.
Yeah, there's no pure wrestler watch party that's watching jiu-jitsu. I can tell you
Is
that.
there a pure wrestler watch party for wrestling though?
No.
Probably, but I'm not going to that.
I don't want to get staffed.
So
I don't want to get stabbed. Get
I've had
out of
people
here.
go like, "Hey man, you want to come over and watch the Olympics?" I'm like, "No, I do not."
You have to
Hard
wear
pass.
wrestling shoes when you go to the
Oh, yo.
Watch, when I was in college, we would watch UFC fights. I don't think we ever watched wrestling.
Interesting.
Not I don't think. We never watched wrestling. In high school, never
It's hard to
watched
find.
wrestling.
It's easier to
Fascinating.
find now. It was harder to find.
Yeah,
then,
for
too,
sure. Flow
Yeah.
grappling
Yeah.
wrestling had just kind of become a
Is
thing.
flow wrestling better than flow grappling? Is there some sort of thing? Do we know that for
I
sure?
don't know. I don't know if it's the same.
Yes?
Hard, yes.
Hard, yes.
Is it?
What makes it
Hard,
so much
yes.
better?
Did we not just finish talking about Seth Daniels?
So there's not a wrestling version of that somewhere?
No.
Oh, okay. Because they.
I mean, I'm sure he's there, but it's way worse in jiu-jitsu.
Oh,
I think
okay.
they have so
Way
many more
worse.
reps in wrestling too. Like there's so many wrestling events and tournaments.
I
and-
just feel like they have their shit together more than we do.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
we're
they
the
do.
bad news bears, and we just basically are like, you know what? They tried really hard. And then in flow, you just go like, oh, they're charging me a lot of money, and I don't know
Yeah.
that I want it all the time.
Yeah, there's bad dudes in wrestling for sure. There's
Mm.
bad dudes in every sport, but there's something about it being a scholastic sport where people expect like a certain level of
Yeah.
like not death threats.
So hold on. Not death threats is
Yeah,
such a
it's-
low bar to
yeah.
clear, by the way. It's literally an Olympic event where the bar's this low.
Yeah.
Congrats, everybody. Jason Matlock says, who watches wrestling? I tried watching the Olympics wrestling, and it was meh.
Well, okay, hold on. It depends on what you're watching. Because if you watch a Greco match and there's not a lot going on, it could seem like two dudes like hugging, trying to pass each other in a hallway almost, and they both keep going in front of each other. But there's some freestyle that's really exciting. I don't know what you were watching, but there were some great freestyle matches.
There are for sure select matches, select athletes who are absolute just phenomenal must-watch bangers, right? We have like a couple highlight videos of Kamal Bey. His highlight video is just insane. That dude was made to launch people. But overall, wrestling gets pretty tactical and dare I say it, samey. It's very samey.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that. Gents, we're going to get ready to close this on up here in a few seconds. But to our inside crew, Ben, I'm just going to call this out. Do we have like snacks of some sort? Like just bars. Give me some sort of like.
Bro, he's already wearing out.
No, I'm not wearing. No, bro, I'm preparing for you leaving. So like I'm debating. Do I have you guys hold down the footage, the airing, while I use the restroom, or do I restart the stream?
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
You definitely want to leave us here without you.
We're gonna discuss some things.
So the other one that we got here is still in the comment section was, man, Luke Cockhold getting ragdolled by a C-tier wrestler with 61-40 win ratio is embarrassing.
Not necessarily. It's in a pit. It's 3 rounds with a 10-9 score. It's different, man.
A C-tier wrestler? Bro, I need to see your highlight video. Run it.
You think he's insulting Rockhold, but he's actually insulting Pat Downey.
Right.
I can't believe Luke would lose to a bum like that.
Bro, I wish I was a C-tier wrestler. You know what I mean?
Dude.
I'd be real happy
I wish
with that.
my wrestling was as bad as Pat Downey's. What?
I mean, there's a lot of things Pat Downey's been on my show. I could say a lot of things about Pat Downey. I don't know that I'm leading with like his wrestling is okay.
He's got an A-tier mullet, C-tier wrestling.
Jesus. And by the way, who comes up with these rankings? Like, is this like an FDA ranking?
Right.
It'd be like, oh no, it's a B grade meat
tier list, right? That's a very good point. C tier, B tier. What?
Yeah.
About to be like, well, you're only with A tiers here, so I don't even know. I can't see below A tier here, fam. Just telling you.
I don't know. At 7.5, I think I'm a C+.
We've upgraded you in the time since.
You're not C tier. You're probably like bottom B tier. You know what I mean? Gatekeeper for B.
Gatekeeper for
B.
B.
Gatekeeper tier.
Man, don't try to compliment me anymore. That was rough. Stick to the insult.
I would say you're a gatekeeper for the B level guys.
I'd say you're like a low B if you're wearing a suit. Like, just stop complimenting me. God.
You start blushing. I can't take it.
I love it. So let's do this, you guys. The last topic we have on the agenda before we send you guys on over here in a few is, what kind of advice do you have for the people at the Craig Jones Invitational? I'd like for each of you to take a few seconds out of your day, out of your time, out of your mind, to go ahead and give some advice to the folks who are competing at today's tournament. And I'm going to go ahead and start with you, one handsome Kevin Sherrill. All you.
Advice for the guys competing.
Yeah.
Man, take the break.
Hype these guys up. Tell them what they need.
No, I'm just fine. Yeah, man. Shit.
Did you not prepare for this one?
This is a tough one.
What do you mean this is a tough one? Give them advice.
I thought it was for guys at CJI is what it was. And I was like, oh, like fans. I was going to tell them to move up a couple.
No, we already did. We did fans on the other show the other day. So you thought we were going to do the same topic again?
Bro,
no,
the
it's not
way
how
you
this
master
works.
this show is you answer the question you want to.
Yeah.
You just give them an answer.
Amateur,
I'm
listen.
just overwhelmed by like the man. I'm going to give advice.
You just lost that 0.5. This is not attractive, Kevin. This is not attractive.
Sorry,
dude.
this is B tier level at best right now,
bro.
All right,
Come
Tim.
back to me.
No. I'm gonna come back to you. Yeah, there's no more of that. Tim Freeman, the footage is now going on you, sir.
Listen, $1 million, it's gonna happen. This weekend, the money's gonna be given away. Somebody's walking away with a sack. Now is the time for you to grab your proverbial sack and make it happen. All your Instagram posts, all your interviews, everything leading up to this, but this is where you got to do it. And I promise you, If you don't do what you think you want to do, you're going to regret it. You're going to think twice about it. You're going to try to figure out how to get back in, and you might not be able to get back in. We don't even know. Craig says it's going to happen again. This might not happen again. There might never be this again for a while. So this is your shot. You need to go full in. This is the biggest thing that's ever happened in your career. Literally, you should leave it all on the mat. 1,000%. That's my advice for you.
Thank you very much, Tim Freeman of Inside BJJ. Kevin,
I'm good.
you're good now. You got it.
I got it.
You're buttoning up your suit. This is like a power move to be like, no, come back to me right now, Raf.
Got it.
Have some salt.
This is like Drake stepping back up to the mic and being like, no, I got this. I got Kendrick. Let's see what happens.
I'm ready now.
3, 2,
second.
Kevin.
All right. For the athletes competing at CJI, this is a phenomenal opportunity to get your hands on $1 million. Start tracking down the opponents in your bracket. Hit them with your car in the no.
Fancy Kerrigan, yeah.
Taking them out. $1 million will cover a lot of legal bills. You really need to think long term. I know a phenomenal lawyer. He's got you. He will work for less than $1 million, probably. You've got this. Go out there. Don't let your dreams be dreams. If you don't like the matchup, change the matchup. That's the name of the game.
Fight someone else.
Can I hold on?
Bring your own opponent tournament.
I don't mean to interrupt your time here, sir, but I like that this became a legal ad for LegalZoom. Like all of a sudden, it was just like, do you need a lawyer? You became one of the Vegas locals.
And he's an optometrist.
Dr. Lawyer Paul Ardea. Go to him for all of your needs. He's also competing at ADCC tomorrow. I do love this. Kevin wishes to pass his time to Tim. That is a thing we normally do, but today we're a little more extended. And it says, out here popping and shouting out to Not Bad Combat and Handsome Top Team. Handsome Top Team, is that a thing?
Wow,
so
HTT.
before ironically, before I was on American Top Team, me and my training partners jokingly called ourselves Handsome Top Team. And now I don't want to get sued, so I don't do that.
That's
Not
fair.
Bad Combat.
Understood. And it says, here, live, take the leg break.
Here live.
Here live.
That is, yeah.
For those of y'all that see that pic, that's my logo. That's Not Bad Combat.
Oh, that's your
okay.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah. Lee trains with me.
Got it. So
Yeah.
Lee's also in the chat saying surgery is only $3K.
Take the break.
And it says that's $7K. So he's basically speaking math and being like, it's a profit infusion for you. You will make money getting that leg break.
That break. Why is anybody tapping? There's $1 million on the line.
So we're going to address these. Egghead had one where he said, first they take the scoring system from the UFC. Now they steal the eye pokes, which fair. And then it said here that I kind of want to come back to these. And this is from Luca Beno. And it said, oh, my camera just went out. Do you mind securing me back over this way, guys? Go ahead and plug me in and out, and it should resume on that one. Instead, you're just seeing this nebulous blank space become an existential podcast very quickly. But if you literally just top like that. The quote here is, and one more hot take, Kyle Dake is the most overrated wrestler in the history of USA Wrestling.
Tell that to David Taylor.
Fair. Thank you for that.
I had this discussion before Kyle Dake beat
Yep.
David Taylor for an NCAA title, and a whole bunch of people. David Taylor's massively popular and obviously phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I said Kyle Dake's beating that guy straight up, and nobody believed me. And yet here we are.
But Luke says
accolades
in
on a
terms of
world
accolades on a world stage.
All right, fine.
Oh, I love how he throws the qualifier in the second quote. He's like,
All right.
in
Yeah.
terms
All right,
of
let's do it again.
qualifiers.
Oh, go ahead, Kev.
Yeah. Did Rulon Gardner fall off the map? Get out of here.
Get out.
I love how I'm destroying national heroes just to beef with this guy online. Like, I love these guys. I don't know why I'm doing this.
Hey, man, we're going to burn this building down, dude.
I went after David Taylor, Rulon Gardner. I wore that guy's
I'm
shoes
going
for my
out
team.
swinging. Everybody's
bro.
catching
I'm
these
burning
hands.
these bridges with these national icons because somebody taunted me online.
All right. Well, let's do this. I think, and it says, Oh boy, it's still here.
He's still going.
And it says, where is Kyle Dake though? And it says they have already secured funding. They already have funding secured for next year though.
He wants Kyle Dake in the tournament.
So I think, let me point this out to you, Lee. What they said is that, yes, it is very likely. I think a lot still hinges as to how things go down today. So that is why we need your support. That is why we need you guys. I mean, listen, this is normally where I plug for us, but I really do think you should be sharing the CGI stream. It is free. This is unprecedented. And I have made a prediction, and I'm hoping I'm right, that CJI is going to hit 1.5 million today. And then on tomorrow, they're also going to hit 1.5. I am estimating these 2 days will hit 3 million viewers. And if they did, that is game-changing for the sport. Now, originally, we saw that more than 75,000 people, Isaac, at one point were tuning in at the top of the show. I believe, just like the audience in the crowd, that is going to continue to build. So I'm very hopeful, but that only happens if you guys like, share, subscribe to them as well. And then while you're at it, like, share, and subscribe to this show, because we'll take the residuals. Like, promote them, promote us, because we're stoked. And not just my channel, The Grappling Hour. Go to my boy Tim Freeman's channel, which is Inside BJJ. And as we're giving some shout outs, we also want to give some love to sponsor that just came in, like slid it under the radar right as we were going to press. So we'll have more materials from them appearing on later shows. But we're super stoked to have our friends over at Inverted Gear supporting us. We love them. I love their Panda logo. I love how much they've been ride or die for the cause and the community. We are so happy about them and all of our gold sponsors who came through for us. I've said it before and I will continue to say it. The show does not exist without them. And, we're very happy to have them and all of you watching. So thank you so much. And it says, oh no. It says that Japanese guy ragdolled him on Olympics. Okay.
Yeah, he's talking about Kyle Dake.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so he lost in the Olympics. Look, there's nobody on the USA wrestling team wrestling in the Olympics that's overrated. If you're saying that, you are a hater. That's just pure, and that's okay. Just be a hater. I hate on stuff. It's fun. It feels good to hate, but don't try to.
Wait, Tim, figure out the message first. Yeah, it's fun to hate. And we all know.
Hating, man. I'm down with it, dog.
Hating. I'm so here for hating.
I dedicate Sundays to hate, man. I get it, dude.
I dedicate it to my gotch and my hate. Yeah, those are my two things there.
I get it, but saying Dake is overrated is insane.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to, as I just did this about Roland Gardner, and David Taylor, it's kind of crazy to go after people in the Olympics.
Yeah, the elite level.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. Last couple things, and it says thoughts on Ted Zulanov. I don't see anyone beating him in the next 10 years if he stays injury free.
He's talking pure wrestling now. Yeah.
You know what it is? And I'll say this to you, sir. Well, hold on. Let me take this one. Sir, are you lonely? Because this is the right demo to be with right now, and I'm here to help you. Like, we're also writing ourselves off as a nonprofit for therapy and talking with people, so I'm happy to reach out here. But, like, some of these are dickhead comments, not necessarily to us, but to, like, major wrestlers. And then some of these are just like, no, man, but I got some analysis I really wanted to float you guys' way. Because you know what might not exist? This show for wrestling. Bam. So we welcome you. It's a crazy week. I knew we'd get some folks who aren't necessarily just jiu-jitsu people, but it does tell me that you have nowhere else to go to talk about this for wrestling. So we welcome you. But I will tell you this. You have to be aware of what you're getting yourselves into. It's like sitting front row at a comedy show. Proceed with caution. So it does say that.
This guy should get together with the Mika guy. Just have a conversation and they can both just ask about what they want to ask about.
And it says it's better than second place in ADCC no matter what. And it says early thought on the broadcast team and pace of the matches. So the beauty of doing this is that I can't hear the broadcast team. I know Brandon McCatherine is crushing it. and period.
They're doing. Isaac says they're doing amazing. Brandon's gonna crush it.
Brandon's
the pace
always
of the
gonna do
matches
amazing. Could be better.
a little slow.
A little.
We've had
you know
a
it,
couple of
but
really high-paced ones. We've
Yeah.
had a couple of slower ones, but we are in the plus 80.
and let's be real. You are mentioning what I was going to bring up, which is yes, the big boy division was going to be the weaker side, the B side, if you would. We're going to get to the A side very, very quickly. So I like this. Hello there, new arriver. What is this show about? Life, man. It's about life, adversity, overcoming haters.
The different
dudes hanging out in the
arts,
gym.
martial arts, fights, funkin'
Arts.
dudes,
Basically like a Netflix show for youth.
street
Overdressing
fighting,
in jiu-jitsu.
Overdressing in jiu-jitsu. And it says,
about rizzing each other up.
my bad, you're correct. They have my full support. And it says, I've shared the stream and will be sharing your stream on every platform that we
man.
got. Good, man.
He's
That's
the
what we
guy.
like to see, you guys. So here's what I'm going to have you guys do. I'm going to have you guys man the coverage here for a second
Yeah.
while I depart to use the restroom.
Okay.
And then we're going to send you off on your ways. So do what you need to do while I do a number 2.
Beautiful. Okay.
Sounds good.
Thanks.
I appreciate you giving us that information.
Maybe we can get a
Well-
play-by-play on it.
You know what? If I bring
Leave it to
the microphone
And I'm
into the
hearing
broadcast, if I brought the microphone into the broadcast booth, I don't know how pretty it would be at the
Yeah.
moment. But I'm going to let you guys kind of take the wheels here and chat with the people. So
Yeah.
have at set, gents.
Right on.
I got to bring something up. It's been a consistent thing happening throughout this broadcast, right? I don't know if you've noticed this, Tim. My chair keeps breaking.
Oh,
we
is
need a
it?
chair sponsor. It's wild. If I lean back, I'm gone. Right?
Oh, yeah. I see what
I'm
you're
going
saying.
straight through the back.
Yeah.
I'm going straight through the back. I don't know if I'm like too broad for the chair. Maybe that's
Well,
the problem. I don't know how swole I am.
You have to sit up straight.
Yeah.
It's really
Gotta
hard
get
to
that
do.
Core active.
You got to
But-
keep your core. I wear a girdle, and it keeps me like really upright.
That
A
makes
weight
sense.
belt.
That's there we go.
I got one of those Office Depot worker guy weight
I-
belts. You know what I'm talking about? The straps.
Yeah, they go. I'm wearing suspenders tomorrow, and you guys just think it's fancy suspenders.
Yeah.
It's one of those. It's holding
These
me
are
up.
therapeutic suspenders. Can I wrestle in this? It's a new singlet. Let's see who wins this match. This was it
Ignacio Santos and Pedro
Pedro
Alex.
Alex? Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, Pedro Alex is huge.
Yeah, that's a large man.
Oh, he
my
lost.
gosh.
Wow.
I didn't catch a lot of it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's kind of tricky to engage, with the people at home and also cover the action.
Yeah, dude.
at
We
the
were
same
we were
time.
really getting into that back and forth with Luke and it was Luke, right?
Yeah.
Luke and Lee. I will go shot for shot for you guys the whole time. I have a problem engaging people. I'm here for it always.
Yeah. Can't run from the troll.
100%. I can't. I'm not one of those guys that can set my phone down.
Yeah.
You can bait me
Every
easily.
time, yeah,
Every
yeah.
time.
Got him.
10 out of 10 times.
Yeah, so far I feel like the pacing is a little bit slower than what I expected it to be. I don't know if it's more of a function of I haven't really seen any stalling calls made yet. And it looked like there was a couple times when there clearly could have been a stalling call.
There was one I saw versus Luke Rockhold in garbage time. A minute
Yeah.
left and it's
Yeah.
all over. Where
Yeah.
Luke just stayed on his back and they stood him back up. But
Yeah.
no meaningful ones that I've seen.
Nothing that's impacted the score yet. Although I think that was the first instance, that match, Rockhold Downey, where we saw the first and second rounds, Downey was ahead 10-8.
Yeah.
Which, should there be a mercy rule? Like if you get 2 10-7 rounds, you just tech the dude, like that's it. Like,
I think they should ask the athlete, "Hey man, do you just
you want to continue?
do you want to keep doing this? You think this is gonna go your way in the third, or like you maybe
Yeah.
want to change things up?" They should have it shouldn't even be like a formal option. They should have like a hey buddy.
Yeah, what if they could have like an intervention where like an actual CJI intervention specialist, he just like, and Jean-Jacques is stepping, he's going to do an intervention.
Oh no.
And he steps in and he's like, are you sure you want to do this? And he lays out basically what could go wrong. I will I will not train with you anymore if you could.
Like the challenge flag that they throw?
Yeah.
Like it should be just an intervention flag. You see it go out there, they just stop the middle of the round and he comes out and he goes, "Listen, man, I just don't know that playing guard on
It's
this
gonna
guy
work.
is going to work out for you.
Yeah.
Maybe we stand up, or maybe we just call it.
They bring your wife and your kid out. And your kid pulls out a note and he's reading it. Dear Dad, I just wanted to tell you this.
I will love you no matter what happens.
But
Please
if
come
you
home.
keep pulling guard, I will cut you out of my life completely.
I think the issue with the pace has been the same issue always with pace, which is style clashes, right?
Yeah.
Like, especially in the over 80, right? Almost everybody wants to be on top. There's been 3 matches that I think were pretty exciting. You've got Nicky Rod. You got to give him credit for the sub. And then that Adam Bradley match.
That was exciting.
Oh my gosh. And Victor Hugo getting subbed.
Yeah.
And it's where you saw someone willing to pull guard and get right to attacking.
I think the Downey Rockhold match was interesting in that it was
that's
happening to Rockhold,
Mhm.
you know, and it was entertaining in that respect. But outside of that, I don't know. I guess I thought they were going to be more aggressive.
Yeah,
stalling.
Yeah, and we don't, as spectators, we don't tend to get very excited about positional play, right?
No,
like that's
not
us.
at all.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
we don't want the positional play. So it's one of those where like if they're jockeying to see which guy who doesn't have a guard is going to end up on bottom, like you're gonna see a little tough grind match, and it's not really on the athletes. They're trying to put themselves in the best position they can be to win.
Right.
It's on the stall calls.
I actually think what they should do for the larger divisions is instead of basing it on activity, they should base it on excitement. And so it's like, hey, yeah, you weren't trying to sub them, but you tried to push them over the wall the whole round. So you win the round. Like, that's exciting. Don't make it about being faster or engaging all the time. They should literally give the big boys, like, you push the guy out, you win the match.
Like almost pro wrestling rules where it's like,
Pretty
I don't wanna
much.
break kayfabe, but like if you're more popular, bro, and if you winning is more popular and more exciting and interesting and controversial, congrats.
Yeah.
You're the guy.
I'm going to give up the omoplata then, man. I got to lay down, dude.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I will not submit to you. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the semis play out. Are they going to run the semis and then the little guys? Or are they going to do
They're going to all the way through the semis. We'll know who the
all
finals
through the
are.
big boys? Well, that's interesting because these guys won't have as much of a chance to rest that way. Yeah.
I don't know.
I think they just want to get all done and keep eyes on here because everybody wants eyes on big boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you do run into that issue of like when they switch over to the big boys, everybody goes to the concession stand, pops out to Chipotle.
Yeah. I think it's easier for the athletes timing wise also if you go, look, we're starting your division at this time. We're going all the way through the semis. We're starting your division at this time. Not like we're going to do them, then we're going to come get you, then we're going to do them, then we're going to come back to you. Yeah. As an athlete, that's a little frustrating because it's a little harder to predict when you're going to go.
It's how they do it in wrestling with like the whole like, oh yeah, we're going to do this bracket and then we're going to do this round, but for all the brackets we're going to rotate through. You've seen it, like, and that as an athlete is way worse than just staying locked in.
Oh
and
yeah,
let me just run this whole
I
thing
agree
through.
with you 100%.
So does that mean they only have the finals matches and the super fights tomorrow?
I think so.
Is that what it is, Raph? So they've only got the finals matches and the super fights tomorrow for the Craig Jones Invitational.
Correct. So that's why I think on Smooth
Starts
Comp
late.
it says they start at 7 p.m.
It's like a night event. We're going to get a chance to see Kirk Vliet and Felipe Andrew here.
Now, see, this is good because I feel like this is getting to that next round of like, okay, so these two could be fun, but then you've got Tackett at the end.
Yep.
Kind of like weighing down the end of that bracket.
Yeah, this is the end of the right side of the bracket, right?
Yep.
Third fight on that side. And I'm interested to see
so
how Daniel does, man. He trains jiu-jitsu. I listened to him on some podcasts that he was on. He wants to win, man. And he's still wrestling. You know, he's
he's got another season left.
right. It's 5th year, right?
Yes. Some people were talking about like, oh man, I'm surprised like
He's doing
Kale
it.
Sanderson's letting him do this. His coach at Penn State is letting him do this. I'm like,
It's $1 million,
$1 million, dude.
He
Like,
probably told him, like, I'll give you some.
he probably told him like, listen, man, are you gonna give me $1 million?
That's not a violation, right? To go win a jiu-jitsu tournament if you're a college athlete. Nope. It's right into the double unders here, man. Felipe Andrew's like, Gracie jiu-jitsu. Push the arms.
Bro, you have Up, disengaging from the guard. This should theoretically be a stall.
Be a stall. I don't think Jason Herzog he hasn't called too much stalling.
Yeah, I think.
Or is that Shaolin there?
Maybe they changed the rules in between rounds. They get in the ref's ear and they push him a little bit. Hey, bro, don't be afraid to call stalling.
It's entertainment, man.
You
got to do that. You got to have somebody who's actually paying attention to the competitive product, who's going like, hey, you know what? This is too lax. Like, we actually need to do this. That helps, I think, protect the integrity of it.
Dude, not to plug our boy too hard, but like that is something I've really liked about the PGF, even though it did not benefit me last season.
Like that stalling call, buddy.
Brandon's always been straight up with, hey guys, I'm selling entertainment.
Yeah.
I'm not out here trying to put on a jiu-jitsu tournament where we find out who's got the best jiu-jitsu. I am trying to sell entertainment. I'm trying to put us on the map. I'm trying to do something for the fans. If you are boring, if you are not getting after it, if I don't find you intriguing, that's gonna be problems with that. Like, we see it in the qualifiers where he outright picks whoever he believes is more exciting. But I'm actually down with it because he tells you up front, hey man, these are the criteria. Entertain me.
Do we need like a council to keep him in check though? Like, what stops him from becoming Caesar and just at the end of every match? He just looks. He's like, well, he got tapped out with a triangle, but I like him. He wins. He loses.
I mean,
he's my guy. My guy.
It's things that are happening, dude. Like, you got to do that in real time. Like, it's not a democracy over there.
Felipe Andrew just shot a triangle.
I recently, a bunch of my guys competed in a tournament where they were changing rules on the fly and they were just making things up and giving advantages over to other guys, competitive advantages to guys that weren't us consistently. And it's pretty infuriating. And I was thinking about it when I was like, man, every season I've been on the PGF, they have changed the rules on the fly. Sometimes big stuff, sometimes little stuff, whatever. And it's never really bugged me. I've been like, man, that's crazy. And we just keep it moving, right?
Yeah.
We had like the executioner that like why am I blanking on his name right now? Caleb McAllister hit in season 3 that they changed to 6 points. And like a bunch of things they changed on the fly. And like, don't get me wrong, we argued for competitive advantage, but it's not nearly as aggravating when you know what is expected of you. You know it's for the fans. It's not for you.
Yes. And I think what bugs competitors the most are the inconsistencies when you're like, hey, this is what we said, but we're doing something different, but we're not doing it across the board. And we're not even telling you why we're doing it. We're just doing it for this guy right now. You lost. Go home.
Yeah.
That's when you feel like, okay, what are we doing?
Yeah.
You know?
There's an expectation of like, oh, okay, like I'm entering a tournament. Here are the rules. Here's the rules we're playing by.
Yeah.
PGF season 6, we did the first day, and then Brandon hit us up. Not even the next day, right? He didn't even make it. He hit it that night. He hits up and said, hey, we're making changes. There's a rules meeting tomorrow.
Yeah.
New rules. We're playing by new rules. And everybody went, all right. We just buckled in because that was the expectation, was we are putting on a show. And he said, last night wasn't as entertaining. We're doing something different.
Kirklet's in a triangle. See if he can stack out of this. He still got quite a bit of space, but I wouldn't want to be there.
You can slam in submissions. I wonder if that's got to be a consideration because he's
I don't want to
not
get picked up by him.
strength.
Yeah,
I think I just saw him. What did he threw up 405 in a.
Jeez,
that's
it?
Deadlift.
Yeah.
I know, right? And he was like, I feel pretty good about that. Like, I haven't lifted for a while, and I was like, that's what you do when you're not
I'm
lifting?
trying to get those Joseph Chin traps
for real. I'm like, I feel like if you latch onto that guy, you're going for a ride.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was interesting during PGF because you could start to hear on the production side grumblings if the action was like not where it could be, and then you'd actually be standing by Brandon, you kind of see him, he starts getting a little fidgety, he starts writing a note, and then not too much later, it's like
stall call.
On the famous PGF season 6 group mega chat thread, which is I feel like I need to go back through that and just capture all that just for old time's sake and release it 100 years from now.
I have so many screen caps of all that stuff that happened.
It was so great.
Oh yeah, it was amazing. If you're a PGF fan, and I feel so sorry, you miss legitimately like half of the entertainment value because you're not in the group chat.
Did they make a doc about that? Has it been out? I know they had guys filming, I think, but I don't know if anybody.
I'm gonna be honest.
I don't think it's been out.
I haven't seen anything.
I'm really looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah. Stuart Cooper was in he was in my Airbnb, and he's a great guy, man.
Oh, dude, he's awesome.
Dude, it was so weird. Obviously, because I watched jiu-jitsu, I'm a fan of his work.
Like all the cool stuff you initially ever saw in jiu-jitsu was Stuart Cooper.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And like hanging out with him, I was like, oh man, you are absolutely as cool as I would have.
And he's yoked. Yeah,
and he's really good at jiu-jitsu,
Yeah.
dude. Like, he was talking about doing this 205 season.
Jesus.
And he like was training here at 10 Planet Las Vegas when he was hanging out filming for PGF.
Yeah.
And some guys didn't know who he was. They were just like, he's just some guy off the street. And he was taking it to some competitors like real bad, like you were telling that story about, first time beating an upper belt, and they were like, we're going again.
Yeah.
Like that kind of thing where they're like, they sit there mad and then ask for another round 10
Who is
minutes
this guy?
later.
Yeah, who are you?
Yeah. Why is
What
this
do
guy
you train?
beating me? You know who I am, man?
What's your belt, bro?
Yeah, dude. Andy's got some monster competitors here.
Man.
And like,
Yeah.
Stewart's taking it to some big names. You would be surprised in some ways. You would be surprised. And that's,
I think last night, just in the room here last night, obviously Varela was here. I think Marab was here last night.
yeah, he comes through.
Will Harris was here.
Yep, that makes sense.
It was a packed. Owen Lively was here.
Really?
I'm such a tool, man. I did not recognize Will Harris, and I just saw he was taking footage, and I'm just like, hey, man, my name's Tim. Well, who are you filming, dude? What are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm filming Marab. And then I just kind of had like a JRE flashback in my head, and I'm like, oh, that's Will Harris. And then somebody asked him, will you hold the phone and take a selfie for us? That was the best, dude.
Amazing.
I usually charge for this, but... Okay, okay. We got a stall call now on Kirk Fleet.
Dude, Felipe Andrews doing a very good job.
He sure is.
Himself, man.
Kevin needs to be in this tournament next year. I think he could do a tad better than Daniel. A smidgen.
Which Daniel?
Daniel Kirkfleet.
I mean...
Oh, look at this guy's head grow on the spot. Which Daniel? Him? Me?
This guy?
What?
I mean...
Well, I have been training judo for a couple years now, so...
Put me in, bro.
I would love to see that.
For $10,001, I will take my shot.
Will you come down in a suit and then take it off and then...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I'll rip a suit for $10,001.
Get a cheapie. Get a breakaway suit.
Get that JCPenney special.
Hagar Select. Hagar Comfort Select with elastic waist. That's how you know.
Elastic waist.
When you're wearing the elastic waist, man, you've given up. I mean, Kirkfleet's trying to
He's
pass
made adjustments
here, but,
now. Yeah. He's made adjustments to his passing strategy.
But does he have a real solid chance at passing
I don't
Felipe
think so.
Andrews'
Not the way he's
guard?
approaching Felipe's guard.
No. But what is Felipe going to do to win this match? Is anyone winning the match?
I think Felipe's winning off of activity right now.
I could win a bump that ass tournament.
No, that's the ASS at the Atlanta Submission Series. That's the one that was changing all the rules. I wasn't gonna put them on blast, but my guys, yeah, dude, my guys are pretty upset about it, and they're
A little salty.
Yeah, they're not a little salty. Speaking of salty,
Salt electrolytes. Listen, this is what's going in my drink as often as possible. saltelectrolytes.com. They got great flavors. I got mango. I got lemon lime. They're rocking I think this new one's raspberry.
I'll take one of
Yeah,
those.
man, you could take several of
Oh
them.
no, give me this raspberry. I'm about to go
Take
put
that
this in
raspberry.
right now.
Yeah, man, Salt
be right back, guys.
electrolytes. It's great stuff. It's not just electrolytes. It's got the right salt. It's got calcium, iodine, magnesium, zinc, sodium, all the good stuff that you need. And they're friends in the jiu-jitsu community. So definitely these are guys that you want to help, you want to support, you want to support the folks that are supporting us. So thank you guys so much for coming on. This is like the ending of the ending of the ending of the pre-show.
Oh no!
And we're just milking it.
We're about to see if Kirkfleet is going to use.
He's
that
under
stalling
mount
for the reset strategy.
So what we're talking about is we got Felipe Andrew. He's mounted Daniel, and he's getting an underhook. He looks like he's going to maybe try to go for a head and arm. Let's see.
Kirkfleet's pinky out.
He just got his knee in, man.
Oh, nice.
He's going to
Big
wrestle
little
up.
wrestle up.
And Andrew just accepts it.
Yeah.
He
kind of took the oomph out of that, didn't he?
He kind of did. It's like, dude, you had mount. Yeah, I don't need it.
Whatever.
I'll get it again.
I'm winning.
I'm winning. It's open scoring. What if a tournament worked like this? You got points for the positions you won, but they got deducted if the player escaped. If you got the side control and they regarded you, you lost.
I like that a lot.
You lost a point or you lost half of it.
Talk to me, bro. I like that a lot.
Right?
We had a discussion about adjusting an EBI rules tournament for if you ended up creating a large enough score deficit. They don't, like a very specific, what do they call it, like a mollywop rule?
Yeah.
Yeah, adjusting it, same thing. But as far as innovating the scoring in jiu-jitsu, I would really be down with like...
Start taking points away.
Yeah, dude, because how many times have you seen someone get passed and then they just are like, well, I'm down 7-0.
Yeah.
It's over.
Can't win.
And the guy, or I think this is worse, to be honest. The guy puts himself, tucks a little foot back in half guard and then repasses and foot back in half guard and repasses.
Right. Start spamming.
Yeah, and just racking up the points. Screw that, man. You don't get the points if you don't keep them.
Every time
that
you get regarded, you lose it.
Yeah.
You can't gain points for it as the bottom player, but you can take points away.
Yeah, I'm actually into that. I'm into that a lot.
Cool.
Yeah, you get somebody's back for 4 minutes. When they escape, those points come back off the board.
That'd be cool to see. So we're in between rounds here. It looks like both all the judges have given both rounds to Felipe.
Only 10-9s.
Yeah.
Only 10-9s. So, I guess he's still in it, but this is a tough one.
It's interesting to see the ice pack in use in between rounds because this is not like, if you watch Greco in between rounds, the coach has a towel and he's air fanning you, which I love. That's what I would like to see in here. And then freestyles, a little bit of that, a little bit of arm rubbing in between rounds, You don't see anyone putting the cold ice pack on anyone in wrestling.
No.
It's like an MMA specific thing.
I wonder, I don't know. I've never wrestled in the Olympics. I'm just a C-tier wrestler.
I thought you did. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just a C-tier wrestler. But I don't, because you do have to, you can't, be sweaty or have...
You have to dry off.
Yeah, you have to dry off. I wonder if that creates a problem.
I don't think I could wrestle.
Cross purposes.
I would be sweating so much. You're not allowed to be in the actually, guys, I was going to be in the Olympics, but man. I couldn't for medical reasons.
They just don't let you compete. You get disqualified.
Yeah, they kind of discriminate against sweaty people.
Gents, I'm rejoining you here in a second.
RAF ESPARZA will be joining the group. Just a few minutes here.
A question for clarification.
Yes.
Did they start with no rash guard? Like one was no rash guard, then they opted to go.
Kirk Fleet had no rash guard. Felipe Andrew, it looks like, dropped the rash guard in between.
It was just like, you know what, dude? Nah, this ain't working.
Yeah, I don't know the strategy. It seemed to be
working.
This
is like strip jujitsu. Like each round you lose, you have to take that.
Dude, this is Dragon Ball Z. He said, "You haven't even seen my final form." Took off his rash guard. It put a crater in the floor.
Well, see, for years on the show, we referred to that as ADCC style, but now it's a little different. I can't just call it ADCC style, and it's not necessarily Craig Jones style. But you would always see people who didn't get the chance that are like, dude, I hate competing with this rash guard. Ugh, it's time to do ADCC style.
How would you guys feel about the guy that has spats with shorts on, and then in between rounds he takes the shorts off?
That's a power move.
It is a power move. I would actually have to be like, I hate this, but I do respect you, but I really have to change how I'm going to roll now.
Yeah.
No, thank you, sir.
This is disconcerting.
I have to change the way I feel about you as a person.
And why did you have to take the shorts off?
Why? Yeah. You know what? You should get cross-examination time. It's like, sir, I'd like to know why.
I get the rash guard coming on.
Sir, explain
sure,
yourself.
that's fine.
Yeah, the shorts,
but the shorts are
essential equipment.
You know what it is? Sometimes when they wear the spats, but then they'd go no rash guard, you look at them with the same sort of feel that you had with the cholas in high school, who would be like, it's cool, I wear a sweater, but short shorts. And I'm like, which is it? You have to pick one, ma'am.
Yeah.
I'm not hating on that. That's an aesthetic I can get behind.
You can get behind
you lost me there.
Oh, okay. You've never. We'll
see a Choi bar.
You also have not. It's very positive. Takes it back.
Oh,
that was sick.
Now, see, this is where if you're a wrestler, you're like, no, this is not fair. You can't have this, dude. I'm so sorry. This is cheating.
I think we might see Daniel.
Yeah. I think
he just lets him out again.
So let me walk through this. Wallowjay, it says, JCPenney was the shit in the 80s. Ask your pops where he got you that fancy suit.
I mean, JCPenney's was a pretty cool place. And, you could get nice fashion on a budget for a family. so I can't hate on that.
All right. So it does look
I just
like
said all right.
elitism.
All right.
Well, I'm trying to go to the result here, which is, Daniel could get submitted here by Philippe Andrew. There's still a little bit of time. And what we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys how this is going to go. First and foremost, shout out Salt Electrolytes. Thank you so much for giving us some love. We appreciate you guys.
Yes.
The raspberry is great.
I had the
Oh.
strawberry and the raspberry.
He's inverting on an armbar.
I want to admit this, though,
He went back.
to the wrestlers.
Fell off.
If you see a lot of these wrestlers make it to time with jiu-jitsu people, I feel that has to be a win no matter what.
I think
They
so.
were only supposed to last, 3 to 5 minutes?
Like, I feel like that's an undervalued thing we should be giving more
C2
credit
guys.
to. So, all right. So for you guys watching right now, just so you're aware, what we're going to do is we're going to put a pause on this broadcast. So what that means is we're going to conclude our pre-show antics, but I want you to come back in about 10 minutes when we're going to do our official fight companion. So we're going to throw to that. And what you're going to want to do for the rest of the night is stay with us here at these channels. So wherever you're watching right now, put a bookmark, come find us, and we're going to ask that you reshare that program. Now, once we're on our fight companion, we're going to have some friends calling in, so be on the lookout for that. But the reason I tell you that is this. We're sending the two gentlemen here by my right and left sides on this broadcast to go do some investigating. And yes, it has been a process because today we thought certain things couldn't happen, and we're still going to wait and see what exactly does happen. But we're hoping that you put two good-looking gentlemen in suits and things hopefully change for the better. So before we sign off, I'm very excited to have you guys join us, and I do want to give you guys a preview, and I will show these in full. But I do think it is important for those of you who are friends and fans of the shows. I need you to look at this, and I need you to understand that, yes, this is the CJI brackets. So you may recognize some names here, and you may be like, Raf, can you show it in full? And I'm going to be like, yeah. You know when I'll show it in full? When we come back for our official fight companion. So if you guys want to see the brackets and you entered our raffle, go ahead and check on over very shortly when we resume coverage. But for right now, we are signing off. We love you guys. We are stoked that you are joining us. Do not go anywhere. We are going to be here, and then at the very end of the night, to complete our night of coverage, we will have a fight companion followed by our official post show where we will be breaking down the biggest news, the biggest events, and the biggest topics that have been happening throughout the day. So on behalf of all of us here at the Bullpen, myself, Tim Freeman, Kevin Sherrill, we appreciate you guys, and we will see you very soon. It's been a great day for grappling. We'll see you back on the mats.